Namaste. Today, our story is about the wisdom seller. Keshav was a young boy who had great faith in God. He loved to read holy books. The wise words and good advice mentioned in them taught him a lot about life. The time had now come when he had to set off to earn money for his family. That night he had a dream. In the dream, the Lord told him, "Why don't you spread the wisdom which is given in the holy books? In this way, you can help many people." So Keshav decided to set up a shop which would sell something that everyone needed: wisdom. He rented a tiny place and put up the sign which said, "Wisdom for sale." Soon Keshav was crying out like the other vendors, "Wisdom for sale! Wisdom for sale! All sizes, all types, buy some." One day, a foolish young man strolled through the bazaar. When he heard Keshav's call, he wanted to find out what it was. "How much does your wisdom weigh?" he asked. "You can't buy by weight. It's too costly," replied Keshav. "But you can buy one good piece for a rupee." So the young man ordered 1 rupee of wisdom. Keshav took the money and wrote something on a slip of paper. He handed it over to the young man, who promptly went home and showed it to his parents. "What nonsense is this?" cried the mother. "What does it say?" Carefully, the man unfolded the paper and read, "Never stand and watch two people fight. Never stand and watch two people fight." "You paid money for that paper?" shouted the father. "Someone has cheated you. Where did you buy it from?" The father ran to the wisdom seller and demanded the money back. Keshav gave him back the coin, but said, "Now you must return my wisdom too." The man wrote down on behalf of his son, "I will never follow the wisdom I returned. I will always stand and watch two people fight." The man took the piece of paper and left. Later at home, he showed it to his son, pleased that he had saved a rupee. Several days later, the foolish son was walking down the street. Just then, he saw a man loudly arguing with a shopkeeper. Since he had returned the piece of wisdom, he knew he must stand and watch them fight. The two men fought furiously, and suddenly the men saw the foolish boy and realized that he was a witness. The next day, both the man and the shopkeeper sent him the same message, which said, "In front of the king, speak in my favor or lose your head." Now the young man was in trouble. His father hurried to the market to find the wisdom seller. He was eager to buy some wisdom. "It will cost 500 rupees now," said Keshav, and the father quickly paid him. He received a slip of paper saying, In the court, have him act like he has lost his memory. Taking his advice in the court, the young man only said, no, yes, over and over again. The judge sent him away in disgust, and the young man's family was delighted. However, the father suddenly realized that his son would always have to act that way to avoid punishment from the king. So the father ran to the shop again to buy more wisdom. Now you must pay me 1,000 rupees, demanded Keshav. Wisdom is no longer cheap. The man paid and received another bit of advice. When the king is in a good mood, have your son tell him the truth. This worked too. And the king one day had a fine laugh at the trick. Then he sent for the wisdom seller. I too would like to buy some wisdom, he said. Certainly, said Keshav, but it will cost you 1 lakh. Since a lakh is not so much to a king, he paid at once and received some advice too. Carefully, he read the words. Always think deeply before doing anything. Always think deeply before doing anything. He was very pleased and had those words engraved all over the palace. Some time later, the king grew very sick and was taking medicines to get better. However, the prime minister, who actually wanted to be the king, bribed the doctor to mix poison in the medicine. As the king raised the cup to drink his medicine, he saw the words engraved on the walls. Always think deeply before doing anything. Slowly, he put the cup down and pondered the words. The doctor suddenly became nervous. Certain that the king knew everything, he bowed down and begged forgiveness. When the king heard the whole story, he had the prime minister expelled and the doctor punished. And of course, the wisdom seller was well rewarded. Now Keshav was rich enough to give free advice. His wisdom helped many people. He traveled far and wide, teaching people that true wisdom is that which brings you closer to God. He encouraged everyone to read the holy books and become wiser themselves. So this is the story of our wisdom seller. I hope you liked it. You can also gain a lot of wisdom by reading the holy books. Please like, share, and subscribe for more such stories. Thank you. Namaste.